Hello everyone, so in today's video I wanted to talk about 2xKO and the problems that I think the game has. I've been playing this game for many hours. I actually reached Grandmaster a couple of days ago with Warwick Jinx. I definitely think this is one of my favorite fighting games, I'm not even gonna lie to you, but obviously nothing is perfect. I will say that the game is in a really good position and I think it can be perfect with these changes though. By the way, in this video I'm not gonna mention anything related to the balance of the characters. I don't want to focus on that because otherwise the video will be the classic video of like, oh, we should nerf Echo, we should nerf Yasuo, we should nerf Ari, we should buff Braum. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about things that are not related to the game mechanics. So I want to talk about the rotation shop. So in my opinion, the rotation shop is just not it. Like literally it's not it, because in the future we're gonna have way more and more skins and it's gonna be super complicated for you to get the skin that you actually want. I think the rotation shop should get deleted literally, and it should allow players to buy whatever skin they want. The next thing that I don't like about the shop is how after you buy a skin with real money, you don't get all the colors for the skin. I don't really understand why. I feel like this is straight up stupid. I just bought a skin with real money and I want to use it with a specific color and you're telling me that I have to grind to get that color. It doesn't feel right to me. I feel like that should change, and every time you buy a skin in the store you should get all the colors right away. Another thing that I want to talk about before we go to the game mechanics is no console release. I've been in the fighting game community for so long, and even if I'm a PC player, I'm very aware that most of our player base as a fighting game community, it's on consoles. We definitely need the console release. I know it's gonna happen at some point, but it's been weird that we got the early access and we just don't have console release and we don't even know when it's gonna come out. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the issues that the game has, in my opinion, when it comes to the gameplay. This is my biggest issue, and it's a 2H not working. There's very specific characters that have like a consistent 2H or anti-air in this game. You see the opponent jump in, you naturally do 2H and the 2H just doesn't work. And I've been checking and there's a couple characters that don't have this issue, for example Yasuo. So yeah, we have like these privileged characters that in the corner, if they see the opponent jump in, they can 2H and it actually works properly. But again, I played most of the roster and most of the characters have a lot of issues. This is the most frustrating thing for me when it comes to the gameplay. It's like doing the right call and getting punished either way is super frustrating to me, and it feels very bad. I feel like they have to do the 2H better for most of the cast. Okay, now let's talk about Fury. Fury is a mechanic that I feel like even at high level, like even in tournaments or pro players talked about this before, and I feel like it's a really bad mechanic. I feel like it gives you way too much damage, and considering that the game is like technically high damage already, I don't feel like we need a Fury mechanic into XKO. Even at high level, this is an issue because, like, for example, if you have two characters and they're like 50% HP, both of them, right? Or maybe a little bit less, and the opponent has one character dead but they have the Fury, most of the time the person with one character alive that has the Fury is gonna win because the damage that it gives you is way too high, and also you can keep your pressure. I will delete this mechanic if you're using double down, 2x, and freestyle. If you're using Juggernaut or Psychic, which are the fuses that don't allow you to use your second character, I definitely think that Fury is needed. But if you're using 2x, double down, freestyle, I feel like that's not okay. You shouldn't have Fury. To end this video, I'm gonna talk about two things that I feel like people mention a lot but I don't have like a lot of issues with. I wanna like open the discussion. So let's talk about Supertag. Supertag has been pretty good recently, but I think the real issue is Supertag Teemo. I don't think Supertag it's like a real issue. Again, this is my opinion. If you have a different opinion and you think Supertag is actually broken, just let me know. But I feel like once we nerf the super of Teemo, Supertag is still gonna be a viable option, but it's not gonna be this broken thing. And then the second thing that I wanna open a discussion about is the fuses. What I like about the current 2xKO is that you see almost every fuse represented, besides obviously obviously Psychic and Juggernaut. I like the fact that it's like, oh, this team has this fuse that is really good with them, and this other team uses a different fuse because it's better for this team too. I opened the discussion here again, so if you guys feel like there's a specific fuse that needs to be fixed or nerfed, let me know. If I have to pick one though, I will say that freestyle is way too oppressive and it gives you way too much freedom. But my issue is that I've been talking about this on stream, and when people ask me, okay, but how will you nerf it without making it useless, I just don't have an answer yet. But yeah, that will be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next time. Bye bye everyone.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.